All right, guys. So apologies if the quality of this video sucks, but I finally figured out how to record videos on this Chromebook, and I guess if it doesn't turn out the way I wanted to, I'm just going to sell it anyway. So anyway, yesterday we had our primary elections down here in Florida, and to no one's surprise, uh, Rick DeSantis won. Actually crushed his opponent, and it makes sense because he was backed by President Trump. But that wasn't really the big story of the night. The big story was the Democratic candidate that's going to be running for governor of Florida, a guy named Andrew Gillum. So this is a black guy. He's the mayor of Tallahassee currently, and he wasn't even projected to win. He didn't spend as much on his campaign. It was a crowded market. There were like 5 Democrats running, and he was behind, but he got a boost from Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders came down here and campaigned for him and gave him a shot in the arm, I guess, and that propelled him to victory. So it was considered an upset. He won. He beat out, I guess, the more moderate or establishment Democrats. And I mean, that's a huge shock because he's considered far left. See, this is what's really funny about the Democrats. They don't want to admit that their party is split. They want to just write off this socialist movement as like a fringe element to their party. Like, no, that's not what it is. This party is a shell of itself. Like, no one recognizes that party anymore. It's starting to take on a more socialist identity. And you're starting to see that. It wasn't just Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It's a bunch of people now moving and like starting to move up in the ranks in the Democrat Party. So this is great for midterms in November because you have socialists and then you have Democrats. And what are you guys going to do there? Who are you going to vote for? You don't even know. But this guy is running for governor of state of Florida, and I have no idea how he made it this far, honestly. I mean, he was bought and paid for by George Soros, so I found that out. I mean, Bernie Sanders helping him out, but bought and paid for by George Soros. But the platform he's running on, get this, he wants to abolish ICE, okay? He talked about free healthcare and free education. And then I was looking at his website last night too, and the language that he uses is just straight out of the liberal playbook, straight out of there. The language he used to talk about sanctuary cities is he's like, we need more immigrant-friendly cities. I'm like, just call it what it is, sanctuary cities. He talked about comprehensive gun measures, or said something along the lines of, he tried to dumb down gun control. That's what they do. They change the language all the time. So we got to stop using the language that Democrats use, because we know that they're really good with linguistics, and they use euphemisms to try to bury the truth. Like when they say Planned Parenthood or pro-choice. Pro-choice just means pro-abortion. Just call it what it is. Anyway, sidetrack there. So this guy's running on abolishing ICE, open borders, obviously. He wants sanctuary cities. He wants free health care. He wants to raise taxes, obviously, because we know there's no such thing as free health care or free education. And it's just straight. It's par for the course for the Democrats. But I think it's more socialist, honestly. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out in November. Also worth noting is he would be the first ever black governor of the state of Florida. So identity politics, yeah, that's going to be a big, big part of all of this, because he was on Don Lemon last night. Of course, Don Lemon is just gushing over him like, oh, do you think that your win symbolizes like the anti-Trump wave? And how does it feel to be the first black candidate to make it this far? And, so of course it's going to appeal to the black voter and the Latino voter down here. But as someone who voted based on identity politics in 2008, I got to be honest with you guys. It felt great for me to go to the ballot yesterday, knowing that I'm voting my values, not my skin color, not because someone told me to vote Democrat, not because there was a black Democrat, so double bonus. I voted based on the values: limited government, low taxes, individual liberties. Protect the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the whole Constitution. Ron DeSantis is a principled conservative. So it felt really good. I felt really excited. I got off work just in time, made it halfway across the town, braved the elements. It was like a crazy thunderstorm. So I made it over there, voted for Ron DeSantis. I'm glad he won. But reflecting on it, I'm like just so grateful because I voted based on identity politics in 2008. I told you guys this, And if there's anything I learned from Obama's presidency, number one, America's come a long way. You know, we're not the racist country that everyone thinks we are. And as a black man, I can do whatever I want if I saw the first black president. So that's great. And the other thing I learned from Obama's presidency is just because someone looks like me doesn't mean they have my best interest at heart. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I really hope other blacks and Hispanics have kind of caught on to this. Like, wait, he's not getting my vote just because he's black. Now, to be fair to this guy, he seems like a cool guy. He doesn't seem like shady or, you know, like an asshole or anything like that. He seems like a nice guy. I just don't share those values. I worship God, not the government. So I don't want the government in my business any more than they already are. And Florida has an identity as a low tax state. And he's coming in trying to make sweeping changes. That's just not going to fly down here. But you never know. Florida's always close in the elections. I feel like every single election, Florida, you know, it's a swing state, as we know, but it's always very, very close. So even though Ron DeSantis was backed by President Trump and he crushed his opponent, it's going to be tough in November, you know, because this other guy, he's really, really going to use the identity factor. And I'm sure they're gonna placate to that. You know, anyone that's campaigning for him, they're going to try to get that minority vote. He's not going to be able to. I don't think he's going to be able to win otherwise. I don't think he's going to be able to win without using identity politics, because you got to think a lot of people that move down here to Florida are moving for the tax benefits. You have a lot of retirees here. You have a lot of money down here that they don't want taxed, because I guarantee you, if Florida turned into a little socialist state, they're going right after the people with the most money. They're going to get those taxes first before they start taxing the poor people, because we all know that's what happens with socialism is once you are done taxing the wealthiest people, you're going to start taxing the poorer people. So we'll see how it plays out. It's going to be interesting. I was very happy to participate in my first ever primary election. You know, I'm still a young voter. I haven't voted in too many elections. And it just, like I said, it felt great to just vote based on values and my beliefs, not my skin color. Because if it was just about skin color, I mean, this guy is young, black, charismatic, well-spoken, you know, seems like a great guy, but I'm not voting based on skin color. I'm not. Glad to get that out the way. It's a great Wednesday. I'm looking forward to the day. It's my day off. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you really think that a socialist or democratic socialist, whatever, that's like saying democratic slavery, get it? Do you guys really think that this guy can win in Florida? Is this symbolic of a big blue wave that's coming? Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button. Help me circumvent those biased algorithms on YouTube. Comment, share. Also, if you guys don't know about Mark Levin, he featured my walkaway video on his radio show or his podcast the other day. I'll put a link of it in the description if you guys want to check it out. But it's super, super cool. He watched the video and he has some positive comments to say about it. So I was really excited about that. Thank you guys for supporting, watching the channel. Love you guys. Catch you in the next video.